Hello to those who are in attendance. This is the Amplify Your Research session, Periodicals and Publication Sets. We'll give it a couple minutes for people to log in. Sometimes Zoom can be a little troublesome getting audio and getting connected and things like that. So we'll give everyone a couple minutes to join, and then we will get started. All right, why don't we go ahead and get started? Any others may come in. Let everyone know this this webinar is being recorded, and there's also a slide deck that will not be presented since we're going to be on the Arizona Memory Project website showing you how to use periodicals and publication sets. But there is a accompanying slide deck that will also be uploaded to the Arizona Memory Project after this webinar is finished. So you'll be able to use that slide deck as a guide if you ever want to come back to this. Okay, so getting started. My name is Ryan Airforth. I am the administrator for the Arizona Memory Project, and today we're going to focus on how to find, use, and search for periodicals and publication sets. So first of all, for anyone who's brand new to the Arizona Memory Project, what is it in the first place? What is the site? So it's a free, publicly accessible online platform for local institutions and members of the public to contribute content that helps researchers discover information related to the history, government, and statecraft of Arizona. So mostly what we'll be focusing today is mostly government documents for those publication sets and periodicals from our Arizona collection. Those make up the bulk of those types of items. But the site as a whole, the Arizona Memory Project's periodicals and publication sets are only part of the main site. So the site is here. It's dedicated to preserve and keep historical records of Arizona history. One thing to note is it's free for all users. All you need is internet access. So as long as you can access the internet, you can access the Arizona Memory Project. And one thing you can do, though, if you'd like, this is optional, you can create a member account. So this will show up as welcome guest if you're not logged in or do not have an account. Having an account has the benefit of allowing you to bookmark items. You can suggest edits to metadata. So if you see a typo or an error or something, you will be allowed to suggest some edits to that metadata that comes to us in the back end, and then we can review that and then check to see if we can make that fix for you. And yeah, okay. So yeah, so getting all this together here. Yeah, so you'll be able to create a member account. So what that looks like is if you click on this guest This defaults to my credentials, but you'll get a register now, enter any name that you'd like, enter your email address, whichever one that you want to associate with your Recollect account. And you can, Recollect, I should say, is the platform the Arizona Memory Project is on. And when you do that, click register, it comes to the back end, and then we will manually turn that on. It's not an automatic registration. We have to go on the back end and approve that request for the registration. But as long as it's the same business day, we should get it pretty fast. So I'm going to keep myself logged out just to ensure that what you see on my screen is what you see on your screen, because I will have admin side things, and I don't want to show you things that you won't see when you are on the site. And one thing I'll mention too, before we get into sort of the details, we do have an Arizona Memory Project research guide. That link will be dropped in the chat. And this guide is here to help you learn how to use the memory project. So we've got information about it, documentation for it. So that would be things like its metadata templates and processes and things like that. So the things you're probably going to be most interested in as a researcher is researching on the memory project, the difference between how different items are displayed, how links work, things are OCR'd, so things are text searchable, tools in the navigation panel, how you filter and facet, different features of the site, other tools you can use once you get into specific items, things like that. So check that out. If there's anything that's still not clear, if there's anything that you feel is missing, let me know. I can always update this. Yeah, this guide is here for you to help you navigate and use the site for research. So close that out. So we'll go to it. All right. So finding periodicals and publication sets. So there are two different item types. If you come over here to browse all, in the filters, you can choose format. These are all the different formats that are available on the memory project. These are how things are uploaded. So you can see that periodical is an item type by itself, and so is publication set. They behave a little bit differently because periodicals are individual items. So an issue of a periodical, for example, the Arizona Grocer, a single issue of that would be a periodical. A publication set is a hub of related information. So if there are annual reports of the Arizona Department of Transportation, that would be a publication set. All of those reports are bundled together. So the pages behave a little bit differently, but they are distinct templates on the site. So I'm going to go show you how you can browse and search these. I'll use periodicals as an example, but mostly the same process I'm going to go through to show you how to do periodicals would also apply to the publication set. So if you were to start from the home page, there are a couple of ways you can get it. If you're just browsing, you can click this Browse All button in the top left corner, go to Filter By, pick Format, and these are just alphabetical. Go to Show More, so that way you get the complete list, and go to Periodical. So if you click on that, you'll see that when you click Browse All, you'll get everything in the entire site. When you click on Periodical, you're only getting the 18,000 items. That's still too many. You'll see that there's more than 417. That 418th page would have been the 10,001 item. So that limits how many pages. It will tell you there's more than 10,000 essentially if you see this more than 417 pages. The other way that you can filter further within periodicals is to click this little arrow icon to the right of it. That's going to populate drop downs. So these are individual metadata fields within the periodical template. So if you're interested in learning or looking for creators, the publisher. So for example, if you want to know, I want to see all the non-English language ones, you can see anything that's not labeled as English, you can click on this, and then you will get all the periodicals that were published in Spanish, for example. And you can click any of these to toggle them on and off. So you can sort of reset where you started from. You can go over, you can click this back to make it go away. Click creators. This is also listed alphabetically. So you just make your way down. If there's someone specifically you're looking for, you can do that. So yeah, this is, and again, this is just browsing. So if you're just kind of looking around, you don't have anything in particular that you're looking for, this browse feature is the best way to do that. And if you're going to do publication sets, they do not have a drop down like this because the template is formatted differently than a periodical is, but you can still click on it. And here, because the total results are less than 10,000, you'll get a specific number. The AMP research guide will tell you what all of these things, you can resort when things were added most recently. So if you're keeping track of like, when was something most recently created, you can change it. The oldest, title A to Z, title Z to A. You can navigate to a specific page within here if you want to. So there's 32 pages. This is again listed alphabetically at the moment. But if you knew you needed something, if you want to get out of the A's and just want to jump to something else, you can do that. So I just entered 8 of 32. Okay. And then we're still in the A's. There's a lot of them, but yeah, so you can navigate around that. You can also use these other filters down here, starts with, so by title. So if you put starts with A, every periodical by title or publication set by title would filter out everything except what starts with A. And those would be a lot because you can see a lot of these start with Arizona. Has the following, that if you see nothing, it's not, it just means that there aren't any special like different tags or anything associated with it, or tags are like little labels that are in the item. You may not find anything here, but you can also put in a specific date if you wanted to. So if you knew you were looking for a periodical for items that were between the 1930 and 1939, you do need to put in the 2 complete dates. So double-digit month, double-digit day, 4-digit year, and you can enter those. And that will filter all these results further based off the dates that you put in. So that's just browsing. So again, if you're not looking for anything in particular, but if you are, what you want to do is search. There is a search page or a search bar on the home page. This doesn't give you as many tools. So the best place to go searching is actually to use the search function in this navigation panel to the top left here. So if you click on that, now you have a search bar, and you also get a lot of different options here. So you can do very generic if you just want to sort of do a catch-all, broadest net possible. Just type in any of your search terms, run the search. Now this will give you everything found Grand Canyon. So if you want to limit it to periodicals or publication sets, you come over here, format, show more. Okay, so there are 4,747 periodicals. There don't happen to be any publication sets for this. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you don't see it listed after you filtered after running a search, it means that the search did not find anything. So in this example, here's your periodicals, and that's how many there are. That's just a very basic search. If you ever want to start over from the search that you're at, you can always hit reset. This time you can try again, but you can use all of these filters. So format, if you know that you're looking for periodical, and that's all you care about, then you can uncheck all. By default, all of them will be checked, but you can uncheck them all. Scroll down to periodical. And then if I ran the search, those 4,747 results will show up automatically. I wouldn't need to filter further from the broad search results. Within data, you can, if you want, you can limit it to only search the title of the periodical or publication set. All fields means all metadata fields, so anything that might be found in the description or any other subject, anything that you think might have the Grand Canyon in it. All fields plus content. The plus content means the OCR, so the optical character recognition. That's searching the text that's searchable within the periodical itself. So if the word Grand Canyon shows up in the text of a periodical, that will show up. So by default, this is turned on because it wants to cast the widest net possible. But if you want to limit it, you can. And I'm going to try it like that. You can also put in the dates here. So I'm just going to put in a random range of dates. And here you can further limit it by all keywords, any keywords, or exact phrase match. So all keywords is going to search for Grand Canyon, just all the words that you put in. Any keywords works kind of like or, so Grand or Canyon. It's going to try and find them, but not necessarily in that order. So you might find something for a different canyon because it found Canyon, and because you selected, any keywords or all keywords, it figured close enough that it wants to show you, again, as wide and as possible. Exact phrase match is going to look for Grand Canyon in that specific sequence. So if it finds just Canyon or just Grand, it's going to drop those from the search results. It's only going to show you things that have Grand Canyon. Let's try this. There we go. So this helps if you really want to get super specific. So in this case, there's only one search result. If that's too few and you're like, I think there's probably more things, or like that's not the thing I was looking for, you can come back here, kind of toggle these around a little bit. You want periodicals instead of title only. We'll just let it search everything. Keep those around. We'll do an exact phrase match. Leave it as an open date. Cool. Now we have 3,635 results. So that's a lot more. And again, you can always come over here and use these filters to sort of filter down. If you realize, okay, like, no, what I'm really interested in is the date range. Put in your dates again, whatever you want them to be. You can click done. Great. Now we've gone from 3,600 plus to 864, which may still be a lot, but that's how you just narrow things down. So once you've found something that you're looking for, we're going to use this one as an example. First thing it's going to do, if you ran a search, it's going to automatically look for the words Grand Canyon because you told it you wanted it to do an exact phrase match. So it tells you that there are 8 instances in this periodical where Grand Canyon, in that order, shows up exactly, and it will highlight it for you. You can jump to each instance. Green means that's what's currently highlighted. Pink just means that's the next one it's going to jump to. So you can navigate your way through the document with periodical that way. By default, it's also going to show you where it sort of found it in the text. Text means the OCR, so the text that's in the document, and MD means metadata. So that means over on this right-hand side, it found it here. So you can see that it highlighted it as well. You can make this go away if it's in the way. All right, so here are some of the tools that you can use if you already found this item and you're like, okay, cool, I found all the matches I need. I can make that go away. If something is available for download, you will be able to click it here. So under tools, you can click the download icon. That will get you the download. So that'll get you a PDF copy of this item. And the PDF that you download should also be OCR. So if you open it in Adobe Reader, whatever version of Adobe that you have, you'll get whatever tools are accessible, but they should all be text searchable. So you shouldn't have to stay in the memory project to be able to search the periodical. If you want to favorite it, you need to be logged in. I'll come back to this. I'll show you what my login looks like for something that has been added to collection. But you can click this star here, and that will get you this item bookmarked for you. If you have a question about this item or whatever it is and this again, we're talking about periodicals, but this also applies to any item on the site. So you can click on this, if you're logged in, this will auto-populate with your credentials, and then you can type a message saying, hey, I think I found an error, or the download isn't working, something like that, any question that you have. And when you do it this way, the message will also give us a link to the item that you were looking at, so it's easy for us to look it up and look into whatever question you have. And if you're going to cite this item for any reason, like you're going to use it in an article that you're writing, or you just want to reference it for later use, you can use the cite this item. Just click on that. That'll generate the citation for you, and then you can use it as needed. One thing I will point out is over here, every item is going to have what's called a rights statement. So this tells you the copyright status and what acceptable use would be and whether you need permissions. So this particular contributing institution has allowed downloads of this, but it's still copyrighted by the Arizona Board of Regents. And so if you're going to reuse this, then the idea there is please contact the copyright holder, which in this case, the Board of Regents. So every institution that contributes content to the memory project is allowed to maintain their current copyright status and permissions reuse. So you may see a lot of different right statements. Sometimes it'll tell you it's public domain or there's no copyright, in which case you are free to use it however you want. But look over here if you have any questions about what the copyright status is. And you can always get in touch with us too. If you find that there's a right statement and it's not clear who you should contact or what the actual process is for getting permissions, again, you can always contact us and say, hey, I'm looking at this item, the right statement wasn't helpful, I'm still not sure what to do. Let us know and we'll point you in the right direction. That's using the item. So I will go in and log in as me, so you can see what bookmarking will look like. All right, so I'm logged in as me. You'll see some other tools like admin things. Ignore those, so you won't have access to that stuff. But just for the purposes of this exercise, add to my collection. And again, you don't have to be an admin. Anybody with a member account can do this. Click on that button, successfully added to your collection. Okay, when you do that, you want to come over to my collection. When you're logged in, you will see this. It won't be there if you're not logged in, but once you are, you'll have an extra button on the navigation panel, my collection. There it is. It should populate as the top item. So this left-hand side is just a running list of all available bookmarks that you've created. Over here, you can organize them. So here's all the stuff that I've been working on. You can start a new collection. You can call it, Grand Canyon Periodicals. That's fine. You would click the item over here, and then whatever collections you've created on the right-hand side will populate here. Just pick the one that you want. I'm just going to call it this one for now. And then if I click this, then add checked items to collection, then this drop down would have all the items that you've bookmarked. So you can create as many as you want. You can have as many items as you want. And if you're done with them, then you can also delete them. Like, okay, well, I finished that project, or I don't need this anymore. You can just delete that bookmark, and then it just goes away. Yep, there it's gone. And it'll delete itself from whatever collections it came in as well. I'm going to log back out. All right. I'll point out one collection that has a lot of periodicals in them. If you navigate to from the homepage, scroll down under the featured collections to Arizona collection. Scroll down to the collection section, Arizona periodicals and magazines. This isn't all the periodicals and magazines. These are just the ones that are from our in-house Arizona collection. So you can see that these are organized as sub-collections. So they're part of the broader Arizona collection, but the individual periodical publications are formatted as sub-collections. So if you clicked on this one, for example, Arizona Catalog, the entire periodical is formatted as a sub-collection, but all the individual issues are formatted as periodicals. So that would be the way to navigate to these. And you can bookmark, again, you can bookmark any of these. Either you can also do it in your web browser, of course. But yeah, if you want to do it within Recollect, you can do it here. Yeah, so all of these landing pages for periodicals will have a summary of the sub-collection, the available date ranges, the dates of publication, which is the earliest date that we have, and the latest date that we have in the sub-collection of periodicals, any languages that it's published in. The copyright statement will be up here as well on the landing page. And then it also links to any other related topics. So this is the Arizona catalog. It's related to these topics. It's related to the broader Arizona periodicals and magazines. And this is just a link of these 44. So this tells you that this sub-collection has 44 individual periodicals in it. The landing page is only gonna stop at 24 items, I believe. And so if you want to see all of them, you can click on this big arrow over here. Stinking. And this gets you to that search results page. So it behaves like a search results page or a browse page. So this tells you all 44. You'll get all these tools, the availability of downloading, contacting us about them. The difference between this page and say a single item is you could check all of them, check multiples. So if you wanted to download, these first 5, you could select those, download all of them. That will to the email associated with your member account. You can also enter an email that's not part of an account. If you want it sent there, you'll get a zip file, you unzip them, and then you'll have the individual files in there. Contact us, let us know about, if you have a question about like, oh, hey, if you have any more of these, you can share on social. You can do metadata comparisons if you're like, what's the difference between these things? Or if you just want, bigger thumbnails and the metadata here, you can adjust the size. Things like that. Okay, so that is periodicals. So let me get to a publication set next because those are they're formatted similarly to those sub collections. So a sub collection of periodicals is again a landing page. So the publication sets are going to look like this. So it's navigates to one. Again, you can browse. This time we'll pick publication set. You can see we have 747 of them, and we'll just pick one at random. All right, so format, publication set, that's how you know. And so again, that's going to be a bundle of documents that are related, in this case, to the 511 case study. So here, there are 3 documents related to it. Again, you'll get the dates of publication, languages, the agency that's related to, because again, most of these publication sets are going to be from the Arizona State Government Publications Collection. And so all of those were created by an agency of the state of Arizona. Any topics it's related to. So 511 is related to transportation. This tells you that there's 3. Again, you can see that there's 3 here, but when you get more than 24, you won't be able to see past that. So this is a handy way of checking to see how many documents are in this publication set. The only items that can be part of a publication set is a document, a handwritten document, or a book. Everything else is going to be sub-collection. So those, even though we could bundle all those periodicals individually together into a periodical publication like the Arizona Catalog, is formatted as a sub-collection versus a publication set. So it gets a little confusing, but if you're ever wondering, how things are supposed to appear and how they behave, publication set always come with the format up here, and you can see that. So yeah, there's your 3 documents. And then once you click into here, they behave much like a periodical does. You still have your download tools. You can bookmark. You can contact us. You can cite. You can still search in here. So if you're wondering how many times does the FCC show up, it shows up a lot. And you can navigate your way through and highlight as you move along. Okay, I think that's kind of what I've got for going through kind of like the main part of this presentation. So anybody is free to ask any questions that they'd like. You can either use the chat function or you can raise your hand and then I will unmute, and then you'll be able to speak and ask your question that way. So I'll give people a few minutes if they've got any questions for us. And while we're waiting for that, we do have let you know we have 2 more of these sessions for the rest of the year. On September 18th, we have oral histories, and on October 30th, we have topics and places. We dropped the link to register for those sessions in the chat, so you can look there. I don't see any questions yet, so I'm going to enter in the chat. I'm going to put our email address in there. Here's a question. Okay. I have a question on the saving your document to my history. How many items can I save, or how much digital space is provided for that section? Okay. So if you want to save something as an add to my collection, I have not found a practical limit to how many items it can save. And I've saved a lot because I have a lot of back-end admin tasks. So, and I will make a note that this is my collection. Since you use the term my history, that behaves differently. I'll log in as me again so you can see it. My history is just your session. So these are the items that I viewed during this. And then these are the searches that I performed. If you are talking about, if you do have an account and you are referencing the My History section, this will go away after. You can either clear it manually, and I believe it will clear after you close your session, like after you close your browser. There may be a limit to how many items it's going to keep track of, or how many searches you've done. And I think at that point, it'll just bump the oldest thing on there. So this isn't, it's really just session based. So if you are doing multiple sessions over a longer period of time, or multiple research sessions, the best way would be to use those, that My Collection feature. Because those are permanent. Those don't go away until you manually delete them yourself while you're logged in. So you'd have to go out of your way to do that. But yeah, so this one again, if I clicked on a bunch of other stuff, yeah, maybe eventually it'll start overriding the oldest things, but it goes on for a long way, because I've looked in here, when I was just kind of in the day-to-day course of doing things, and it goes on for a while. Cool. All right. In the chat, I put in our contact email. So if you, again, you can always contact us through any portions of the site. You don't even have to be logged in. If you want to use the contact us section up here, that will get to us just the same. If you have a broader library question or something related, because the memory project is just part of the State of Arizona Research Library resources, you can also, it says request an appointment, but you can also just use that to ask a question that you can start there. You can contact us directly. Yeah, and you don't need an account to do any of those things. This puts in my information because I'm logged in as me currently, but you won't need that. You don't need to be logged in to use that feature. So yeah, anyone is free to contact us with any questions that you have. I don't see any other questions, so I will just give it. Here's the one. Why is organized spelled organized with an S? It is spelled that way because the vendor is located in New Zealand, and that is their spelling conventions. So you're going to see some of that in other places as well, where instead of a Z, you'll see an S. Yeah, so that kind of threw us a little bit off too, because every time we see it, it feels like it should be different, but no, just different spelling conventions, and that's just because of where the vendor is headquartered. All right, we'll give a couple more minutes for anyone to ask any other questions, either in the chat or raised hands. But then, yeah, that's I'll conclude today's webinar. Thanks everybody for showing up. You should receive a survey link within an hour of closing the session. That survey helps us improve these. It's a chance for you to say, oh, I'd like to see a session on this particular topic. That helps us plan future sessions like this. So please fill that out. It helps us a lot in planning these. And after that, I think that will do it for today. Thanks everyone for attending, and we hope to see you at a future session.